Well, hello, IDS 105 students, and welcome to week one, module one in your IDS 105 course. I am Melanie Shop, your IDS 105 Learning Community Facilitator, and I'm here to walk you through everything for your very first week of the term, show you where to find things, where to click, what to do, and resources that'll support your success here at SNHU. First and foremost, your experience here at Southern New Hampshire University is very important to us. It's our policy and practice to create an inclusive and accessible learning environment. If there are aspects of instruction or course design that present barriers to accessibility, please notify the Online Accessibility Center, the OAC, as soon as possible at 866-305-9430. You can also email them at oac@snhu.edu or visit the Online Accessibility Center website. What does this mean? The Online Accessibility Center team, or the OAC, is a department here at SNHU that can help you get content like classroom content, webinar content, whatever you might need that can best fit your learning style. If you have questions about this and want to know more, please reach out directly to the OAC team. Couple of housekeeping webinar reminders is this is an academic space. Anytime you're in your brightspace classroom, you're in SNHU Connect, you're attending any kind of webinar at the university, it's always an academic space, so please be mindful of your conduct. These learning community webinars are not graded. They're not graded, they're not required, no extra credit, but you will learn about how to do assignments from week to week and/or we'll go over concepts that you're working on in your class. These webinars are offered both in an on-demand, which is a pre-recorded webinar, or there are some dates that are actually live throughout the term. So check the schedule, which means check your SNHU student email, check your course announcements for any live session details, but just know that every single Monday there is a webinar that is there for you to view. And if it happens to be a live session, it's always recorded to view at your convenience and available within 24 hours. What are we talking about today? A whole lot of stuff, but all good things. We're going to talk about what is the IDS 105 learning community, how to find it, how to use it, making sure you know how to access your class, get those books purchased and connected. We're going to talk about your assignments this week, which is a discussion, a journal assignment, and then an optional warm-up. And then we're going to talk about resources for your success, how to find webinar recordings, and just a reminder to have a little bit of fun along the way. So y'all, who am I? Who is this voice that's going to come across to you every single week? I'm Melanie Shop. This is me. This is my family. I am an adjunct faculty member here at SNHU. I have taught for the university for 11 years, but I have been in higher ed for over 20 years. So I have a lot of classroom experience. I teach IDS 105, but I also teach another class called SNHU 107. I also am an academic partner here at the university. That just means that I get to work with your fabulous, wonderful faculty, and then I get to do this wonderful role here in the IDS 105 learning community. Some fun things about me: I love the water. It doesn't matter if it's a beach, a pool, a river, a lake. It doesn't matter at all. I'm a part-time mermaid, I always joke. I live just outside of Pensacola Beach, Florida. I'm married to a motorcycle enthusiast. I have 2 boys that are growing before my eyes. I'm very active. I love road biking, indoor cycling, reading. I've had published authors in my classes before, which is so cool. But if you're a reader, always send me recommendations. I'll take them. I love coffee. It runs through my veins. And I am one that always enjoys spending time with my loved ones. But the biggest thing I want you to know is that I am here at SNHU and the learning community and what I do. I'm just an extra resource for you and your success, okay? A lot of times students are like, all right, what is this IDS 105 learning community? Well, first and foremost, know that it's outside of your classroom space, okay? Any assignments you do, things that are graded, that all has to be submitted and turned into what's called brightspace. And that's that learn.snhu.edu, okay? That is where everything is graded. The learning community is actually outside of your classroom in what's called SNHU Connect. It's also where you can find like clubs and organizations. So IDS 105 has its very own channel, our own little community space, where in there are students that are taking IDS 105, okay? So it allows you to build peer connections with other students taking the course that might not be in your specific section, but are still taking the course or who have taken the course. I always post any of the webinar on-demand recording links, or if there's reminders about live sessions or when that live session is ended, the recording link. I post all of that stuff in the learning community space. Plus, we have what's called these just-in-time resources, which are like quick little videos that walk you through like a very specific thing, and they're short. So webinars can be like 30 minutes to an hour. They're a lot more in depth, a lot more detail. Focus videos are like under a couple of minutes. They might show you like how to find the discussion board. They might talk you through a certain topic, things like that. But I also post a lot of motivational reminders like, hey, you're doing great. Or hey, if we've fallen off track, let's keep going. Or I also give you reminders too about due dates, all that kind of fun stuff. It's just a really cool space that's outside your classroom that gives you a little bit of extra support. And our hope, our goal here at SNHU is that that will help just ultimately lead to your success and you being able to cross these classes off your to-do list and get to the graduation stage, okay? So this is my reminder to join and get involved and be a part of the learning communities, okay? So there is a learning community for SNHU 107 and IDS 105, but what I wanted to point out is you have your very own learning community for IDS 105. They're two separate groups. Once you have course access, you have access to SNHU Connect, okay? So you can go into SNHU Connect, you can search the IDS 105 learning community, and you can join that space. As a reminder, you can find it from your classroom, but you can also find it from my SNU. And so I want to just like put this up real quick. There's a tutorial that shows you like how to find everything, but there's more in the SNHU Connect than just the learning community. There's also clubs, organizations. It's a great way for you to be able to get involved here at SNHU for your success. Once you access SNHU Connect, you can create a profile. So put a picture up, share a little bit about you, take some time putting that profile together. It just allows other students to get to know you, and you'll find other students that have similar interests than you, maybe are in similar classes than you. It's just a really cool space. Okay, so again, that is in what's called SNHU Connect. So the learning community, nothing is graded in there. It is literally a place outside your classroom for extra support and to get to know other students, join clubs, be a part of organizations. All of your graded items are in what is called brightspace. Brightspace is your course environment, okay? So I'm gonna share my screen here in a little bit when I get done and like show you where to click inside an actual classroom space. But I wanna show you, or want to just kind of go over that when you access Brightspace, one of the main parts of the class is you'll see this little course menu. There's a little arrow. Click it. You will have quick access to announcements, which is very important. Review those every time your instructor posts them, or go back and look at them, because that is where your instructor puts helpful tips, tricks, reminders, breaks down concepts. Do not forget to do that, okay? Also, make sure you're checking your SNHU email. You can also click on learning modules. That's where you'll find all of the weeks. So week 1 is module 1. Week 2 is module 2, and all the way through week 8. Okay, you're only focusing on things 1 week at a time. Don't open up your class and do all 8 weeks in like a week. No. Week 1 is what you do your first week. Week 2 is what you do your second week, and all the way through week 8. Okay, there's a quick link for the discussions, a quick link for the assignments, and a quick reminder of just being able to click on your grades and know where you stand in the course, okay? So when you open up that Brightspace classroom environment, when you look at the top, you'll see kind of across the top this toolbar. You'll see that course menu area. You'll see accommodations. That's that online accessibility center team I was talking about. My SNU links right there. You can access the library, academic support. What I want to pay you to pay attention to is that help title. Click the down arrow. And on that down arrow, you'll see online student services. If you click on that, it opens up a page that has all of the departments here at SNHU. And for you to get your electronic textbooks, that is where you want to purchase them. Okay, so you'll click on the blue, gets you where you want to go, click on that SNHU bookstore, you'll put in your course code, so IDS 105, that you're taking it online and what term you're taking it, and then it's going to pull up your course materials, you add it to your cart and check out just like you would on Amazon. Most important part is make sure you're checking your university email, because you'll get an email with like connection information and a code, but also you can find this information underneath the start here area of your classroom space. But if you get stuck, something's not working right, you're confused, you're frustrated, take a deep breath and reach out to your SNHU advisor. They'll get you all set up for your books, okay? So let's talk about what we got going on here for week 1 in your IDS 105 classroom. First, you have a discussion assignment, okay? So with your discussion assignments, I want you to kind of put these 2 dates in your head. Anytime you have an assigned discussion, you need to have what's called an initial post submitted by Thursday of the week that it's assigned, or before as convenient for your schedule. So an initial post is when you answer the series of questions that is posted underneath that module, underneath that assigned discussion area, okay? So for example, here in week 1, you're going to be answering these 4 questions, but pay attention because there's a couple pieces and parts, okay? First, you're going to introduce yourself, share a little bit about you. This can be a variety of things, whatever you're comfortable sharing. You can be like, hey, this is my name, this is where I'm from, this is my major, this is a little bit about my family or my pets or my interests, whatever you're comfortable sharing with. And then question 2 is, if you're comfortable, sharing your top 3 social identities with the class. Now, if you're not sure what a social identity is, do not stress, because if you review the assigned reading for this week and the module reading that's actually within your classroom space, you'll know how to answer that question, okay? And then question 3 is, in your daily life, are you able to be your authentic self in all of your identities and explain why or why not? And then question 4 is to discuss your why. It's like, why are you starting classes here at SNHU? Why are you going after whatever degree it is that you might be going after? And it's okay if you're still figuring that out. So these are the questions you're going to answer. That's what's considered the initial post. That has to, again, be turned in by Thursdays, or convenient, or if it's convenient for your schedule to turn it in earlier, that's fine. But just know for week 1, it has to be in by Thursday, 11:59 p.m. East Coast time. Pay attention to your time zones, okay? And then by Sundays, if there's a discussion assignment, you have to turn in at least 2 classmate responses by Sunday or before, as convenient for your schedule. Top tip about these peer responses or classmate responses: don't just write like a sentence or 2. You really want to review what your peer has posted, ask questions, maybe give them further information. Maybe you have a common, maybe you're from the same area or you have the same major. Don't just let it be a couple of sentences. It won't cut it. You'll miss points. Okay. Another assignment that you have this week is called a warm-up. A warm-up is like an open book quiz. Okay. For this week, for module 1, it is not graded. It's completely optional. However, I encourage you to take it because it kind of goes over a little bit of the classroom policies, rules, how to find online learning resources, that kind of stuff. It's worth your time. And it'll also prepare you for how to access those warm-ups and how to submit them when you have them graded later in the term. Okay, so again, discussion graded, initial post due by Thursday or before, minimum of 2 classmate responses due by Sunday or before, and then you have this warm-up, which is completely optional. If you do it before Sunday. Okay. The other assignment that you have in your week 1 of your IDS 105 class is a journal. So with this journal assignment, you are going to be opening up a Word document or something compatible, very important. When you look at this assignment, it's going to give you an overview. It's going to give you the directions and like how you're supposed to submit or what you're supposed to do. Okay. For this journal assignment, you're answering these 4 questions, but keep in mind, some of these questions might have multiple pieces and parts. So always make sure you're double checking that you answered everything. You're going to be describing your most dominant social identities. There's that question again. You're going to be talking about implicit bias. You're going to be identifying the core principles of social justice. And then you're going to talk about implicit bias and understanding the core principles of social justice, okay? Those are the questions. If you're new to these kind of topics, you're not sure about these kind of topics, take a big deep breath. In your reading for this week in the module and from your textbooks, there's also some helpful videos and information in the required resources area. It'll help you understand what these concepts mean and how to answer these questions. But if you get stuck, you're not sure on something, always reach out to your classroom instructor, okay? Now, this reminds me, if you do not have Microsoft Word or something compatible, you get what is called Office 365 for free as an SNHU student. And that's also underneath that online student services area, okay? So that journal is due by Sunday or before, as convenient for your schedule. So just a reminder, just to recap. So you have that optional warm-up. I encourage you to take it, but it's optional. A discussion assignment, initial post due by Thursday or before, minimum of 2 classmate responses due by Sunday or before. And I always get asked too, students are like, well, can I respond to more than 2 students? Of course you can, totally fine. But just make sure that you have more detailed responses to at least 2. And then you have that journal assignment due by Sunday or before, okay? If you're stuck, you're not sure on something, you have so many resources to support your success always, but especially that first week. Reach out to your instructor if you're stuck on something, not sure on something, want to make sure you turned everything in okay. They want to hear from you. We want you to be successful, so please reach out. You can always reach out to your SNHU advisor. Like if you're stuck on something or like you can't get your books to work right, give them a call, connect with them for your success. Anything technical, you can always reach out to the help desk. The academic support team has a really cool service called written feedback. So if you've been out of school for a bit, or maybe academic writing is new to you or you're not great at it. Academic Support has a wonderful written feedback service that you can actually submit your draft, your rough draft to them, kind of select what you want the tutor to focus on, and they'll give you targeted feedback within 12 hours. It's a great way to kind of have another viewpoint on your writing and making sure that you did everything that you needed to do. Okay. Again, reminder, if you don't have Microsoft Word or something compatible, you do get Office 365 for free as an SNHU student. Okay. Just a reminder, these webinars are always available in the on-demand format on the First Year Experience YouTube channel. So those links are all right here. Whenever we host a live session, it's always done via Microsoft Teams. You can always find out information about the webinars by asking questions in the IDS 105 learning community. You can always send me an email. You can ask your instructors, but always check your student email and check those course announcements, okay? Now, just a reminder too, you can find the IDS 105 learning community. Looks like this in SNHU Connect. Once you have class access, you always have SNHU Connect access. And there's just a couple of ways you can find it too, which I'm going to show you when I share the classroom space. All right. Before I go into the classroom space, I just want to take a moment and just remind you, take a deep breath. Think for a minute about why you started this journey, why you're here. Some of you, this might be the first time ever in college. Some of you are the first to ever go to college in your family. Some of you have tried school before and it didn't maybe work out for whatever reason. Some of you might already have a degree and you're back getting a different degree or something different. Whatever it is, just know that this is your journey. And I absolutely love this quote by Art Williams. I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. I'm telling you it's going to be worth it. It is going to take time. It is going to take sacrifice. You need to map out your SNHU study time on your schedule in a way that works best for you. But you have to do that so that you can make the time for your success. Your success is loading, and we're just so excited to have you here at the university. So I wanted to take a moment real quick, and I want to share my screen with you. So this is what brightspace looks like. Don't pay attention to the dates and stuff in this classroom space. I just wanted to show you really quick, like this is what brightspace is. It's that learn.snhu.edu. Like I said, up here at the top is where you can find that course menu. You can click to get to announcements, learning modules, discussions, assignments, grades. Also up here at the top, you can quickly get to that online accessibility, the OAC team. You can find my SNU from right here, get to the bookstore real quick, get to your webmail. The library is right here. And I wanted to click on academic support just really fast because academic support has that written feedback tool that I was talking about. So there's all kinds of workshops and tutoring options, but if you click on this written feedback, submit a draft, you can upload and submit those drafts for written feedback, select the areas, and you get that feedback about your writing and your assignment within 12 hours. It's really a great way to make sure you feel a little bit more confident about turning in what you're working on, okay? The other thing I wanted to point out is that help arrow. When you click on that, there's a quick link to get to the help desk. You also have that online student services page. I'm going to go over that in a second. But what I also wanted to point out is there's these student tutorial videos. So if you are newer to online learning, or you've never worked in Brightspace or something like that, that is a great place for you to click. There's all kinds of tutorials on how to find discussion boards and use them, how to find your feedback from your instructors when they grade your work, my SNU overview, access and information about your Brightspace environment. There's just all kinds of helpful stuff right there, literally a click away, okay? Now, when you click on that online student services, that pulls up all the departments and teams here at SNHU, okay? What I wanted to show you is click the blue, gets you where you want to go. That is where you'll find all the departments. So there's the bookstore, quick link to academic advising. As you scroll down almost to the end, you'll see this Office 365 and other software. Click on it, follow the steps, and you can get Office 365 downloaded. That has like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, super important for you, okay? So I wanted to make sure that I showed you just those resources really fast. The other thing I wanted to make sure I showed you is under course menu, you can quickly get to learning modules. Click on learning modules. I wanted to point out this start here area. Start here area has a copy of your syllabus, all the rules, policies, what is due from week to week in your course. Plus there's some great helpful videos in here. But if you scroll a little bit down, you'll find this vital source information. That's all about your textbook, how to get things connected, how to set it up, how to use all the things. So it's a really great space. Also, I wanted to point out that this class has some assignments where you can use what's called a video note to submit it versus a written document. However, there's requirements and information that you must meet if you decide to do this. So if you want to know more about it, check it out. But underneath here too, you will see this academics community. If you click on academics community, that'll take you into SNHU Connect, and you'll be able to join and see the IDS 105 learning community. Okay, so I wanted to make sure that I showed you that. The other thing I wanted to point out is you'll see all your modules. So here's module 1 all the way through module 8. So if you click on module 1, what I wanted to show you is you click the blue, it gets to where you want to go. Click on that module 1 introduction. It's going to open up the actual module. Okay, so it's going to give you like the learning objectives, what you're covering, what to expect in the module. Make sure you're scrolling all the way down and arrowing over. Okay, really important. You'll notice right here, there's quite a bit of reading or text within the module. Do not miss this because it helps you understand and get ideas so you're prepared for the questions you're going to cover in your assignments from week to week. Sometimes students don't even realize this is here. So don't miss this, because remember one of those questions on that journal assignment was the core principles of social justice? Look where it is within the module. Okay, so I wanted to point that out. Always scroll all the way down and click over. But it's also really important that you always review the required resources. That'll, for every week, every module, it gives you what chapters you might need to read in your textbook. Also, as you scroll through, you might find some cool like websites or extra reading or extra videos just to really give you that additional support to make sure you fully understand the concepts and what you're covering from week to week in your classes. Okay. Another great space here is kind of a little bit more on how to like do things in brightspace, how to access the discussion boards, what a rubric is, all kinds of helpful information literally just at your fingertips. Okay. Now, you have a discussion this week, right? So when you have a discussion, as a reminder, it'll always go over the assignment. It'll give you the questions again, and then it'll give you some ideas too of what you could ask your peers or respond to your peers when you see their discussions, okay? What I want to point out is if you are starting a new discussion post, you're always going to see this start a new thread. Click on start a new thread, and you can put like your, let's see, Melanie, week 1, intro, whatever it might be you want to call it, and you can type directly in here. All right. Now, I have a lot of students who will type up their discussions in like Microsoft Word or like in a note tool, and then they'll copy and paste them into this text box just in case there's any kind of a technical snafu. They didn't lose everything that they worked on. So just kind of a tip from students, you can type right in there, and then you'll just click on post. Once you post an assignment, I'm going to cancel out of here, you will see it in the discussion area. So for example, if this was maybe yours or if it was another classmate's and you wanted to review it, you just click on the blue, see how it's blue? Click on the title, open it up, and you'll be able to review whatever your classmate or instructor might have posted. And then you can always click on reply to thread. It's going to open up a text box again for you to put your thoughts, questions, whatever you might have. And then you would just click on post. Okay, I just wanted to run you through that discussion area just really quick because sometimes it can be just helpful to have somebody like show you like where to click and what to do. Okay, now the other assignment is that journal. And then you have that optional warm-up. For the warm-up, you literally click on the blue and you'll see a begin quiz. That's all you got to do. You can retake those quizzes or those warm-ups as many times as you want to earn your best score. Again, it's like an open book. So I always encourage students, review the material in your class first, any required resources, and then take those module warm-ups, okay? The journal, here it is. And you'll see this guidelines and rubric. Click the blue, gets you where I want to go. It's going to give you that overview of the assignment, remind you about what you're answering and the directions, what to submit, and then right underneath that is your journal rubric. So you can always look at this as kind of your roadmap on like how you're going to be graded, okay? Again, when you go through this, you want to make sure you have that Microsoft Word or something compatible. You just open up that document, type the questions in there or type your answers to the questions in there. The journal assignments are an assignment that you could optionally use a video note tool, but make sure you know what is required if you do that. Okay, there's instructions and requirements that go with it. All right, so y'all, that is everything for Module 1, Week 1 in your IDS 105 class. Okay, as a reminder, don't forget to come join or be a part of the IDS 105 learning community. If you get stuck this week, you're not sure on something, reach out to your instructor, reach out to your advisor. You could always post a question in the learning community too. We are just so excited for you. Thank you for partnering with SNHU on your academic journey. Go be amazing. Have a wonderful week 1, and I'll see you next week. You got this, y'all.